Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot.
Here we go. Oh, hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's John. We are back with another fine episode. And I tell you, man, like, we're going to talk about a lot of shit, you know, the aftermath of the brawl and all that. But, Jules, what else we got, man, on deck?
Well, definitely got the aftermath of the brawl. And then a lot of stuff going around camp as far as the return of Saquon Barkley. That's right. He is back off the PUP list and looking good. In addition to that, we got some receiver talk because a lot of the receivers have been having some pretty strong camps and making some notes and making some noise. In addition to a couple of D-backs that have been stepping up in camp of late. We have a Phil Simms article that we're mixing in. Probably going to start with that. And, of course, guys, this is the week of preseason. Preseason officially is going to kick off on Saturday, Giants. Definitely
love it, man.
Back to talk, and then 4 more episodes, fellas, until opening day. So a lot on the docket, but definitely wanted to sort of tie in the aftermath of that brawl. A lot of comments circulating, and one thing that kind of stood out was today, Phil Simms, in an article, the great Phil Simms, that is, he mentioned that this is a bunch of bullshit and that he loves fucking with judges doing. This shit is old school. Players are players, that there is no reason to be like babied in this day and era where they now have to worry about, oh my God, they're running too much. Oh my God, they're practicing too hard. It's like, yo, suck that shit up. You're an NFL football player. You're going to deal with contact. You're going to deal with running. He's actually quoted for saying that that's a great bonding experience because the players will sit back and fucking laugh about it after they run these laps and do all this shit. And he says all these people that are criticizing Judge with all this nonsense, they need to quiet the fuck down. That's basically what the article said. I don't know if you guys have some more detail revolving on it, but that's basically what my man Phil Simms had to say.
I wish I was old enough to watch Phil Simms play in his prime.
I was.
Yeah,
he was my guy.
Yeah,
I can imagine. You probably feel the same way like I feel about Eli.
Yeah,
Phil Simms and Eli.
Yeah, Phil Simms.
Cool.
Phil Simms was like my guy. Like, I loved the Giants because of that fucking dude. Like, every time I used to watch like the games, because the Giant games, there used to be only like a couple games on TV back in the day. It was just like whatever game was on. If the Giants or Jets were on, you get that one game. And then the second half, like if at the 4 o'clock game, you get like an option between the Jet game or the Giant game or like another, usually like a Dallas game would be on it. Fucking be, I'd hate that shit, you know?
Yeah.
So like, it used to be that bullshit around. That's why in New York, you get a lot of these fake ass fucking Dallas fans, man. They're the front runners. But I used to love, like on CBS, they always have Madden and Summerall do it. And Phil Simms would be like Moorhead State. Like, I always fucking remember that, man. And just watching that dude play. And then, I mean, I was a very little kid watching that first Super Bowl when he went to Disneyland and he was like 21 of 23 or fucking whatever the hell he was. He was on fire. He just kicked the shit out of the Broncos. I was like, I just remember going fucking absolutely ape shit, like when I was a fucking kid, you know? But yeah, that was my guy, man. So I understand it, man. Like him, Eli, like, and LT. I loved LT, obviously. Like everybody did.
I wish because you could go back and like, what happened?
Pavaro, tight end.
You can go back and watch like the highlights, but there's nothing like watching shit happen organically, like real life, real time. That must have been sick. But as far as like what Phil said, what he said about the brawl. I like what he said. Obviously, he's just like, let's stop being a bitch, which is really what it comes down to. And the funniest part about it is the only people who would really complain about running laps are probably the biggest guys on the roster, if they're going to be the guys who complain. Because think about it like this. If anybody's ever tried to like work out and have like a nice like physique, male, female, in between, whatever the story is, it requires a lot of cardio. So running a lap around the field is really like the smallest drop in the bucket as you could possibly have if you're going to be that level of physical specimen, I guess. It's not like they're rolling out of bed, fucking going to Taco Bell for breakfast and then eating KFC on the way home. That's not the case here. These people literally treat their bodies like machines, and it's not just what they're putting in the body, but also what they're doing with the body on a daily basis. Running a lap or 2 or 3, it's nothing. It's literally nothing. Imagine how much time they spend working out.
They got good food there, John. I mean, it's not like they have to go to Taco Bell. They got fucking cafeteria. I mean, yes, Kelvin Benjamin took all of it and fucking ate all of it, so they probably do have to go to Taco Bell because they have nothing there.
How about that fucking Wes Steinberg, man?
He's my favorite account. Yo, shout out to Wes. Like, if anybody that don't know, follow that. What's his name, John? Wes Steinberg?
Wes Steinberg, yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
There hasn't been a more giant fucking troll. I haven't been on Twitter for a year now, maybe not even a year at this point. So, I opened my account and I was like fucking, 25 years old, but I never even used it until like the last year. So I don't think I've ever come across a situation where this guy is putting out haymakers, bro. Like every tweet he does, there's all these people fucking like sharing it like it's actual news. Like I get fans. Like I get fans doing it because like they're rival teams, they're looking for shit like this, and they're like, oh yeah, national media says JoJo's an asshole, so this makes sense, and it just clicks, and they want it to be true, so they run with it. But it really shines a light on who these fucking people who are relaying information to society are.
Right.
All they're really worried about is fucking being the first. There's no fact checking. There's no like wanting to be right. It's just about being the first, and that goes not just for sports, guys. It goes for everything in life. Saying.
No, it's so true. I mean, one last thing sort of with the whole article and Phil Simms and everything else is that people forget that, especially when it comes to certain sports like this one, football, it's not just contact, it's conditioning. Like, listen, you don't have to have, you take your shirt off and you got this like body of an Adonis and like a 6-pack to be a football player, because that's just not realistic, especially with these linemen and other types of positions that are playing. But also you have to keep in mind that these guys got to go for 4 quarters. It's 4 quarters of 2 grown-ass men beating on each other, taking hits, fucking going through all this hard work. Any kind of level of football always has conditioning as one of its main features, where these guys have to run. Because, look, let's face it, by the time you get to that 3rd, 4th quarter, your body is worn the fuck out, man. You've been getting beat on. You've been hitting up on other grown-ass fucking men for the last fucking, half hour, 40 minutes at least. Listen, you start to get tired. And the guys that are in better condition, whether or not they have a 6-pack or not, don't matter. But the ones that have better conditions, those are the teams that usually seem to pull ahead. Those are the teams that win in the 4th quarter. And if this is just a sort of diverse way of getting these guys in even better shape, so fucking be it, man. Look, when you see some of these other teams dogging it, especially halfway through the season in that 4th quarter, we can start winning the 4th fucking quarter. Watch how quickly everybody's going to be like, oh, shit, all that running and extra conditioning fucking paid off for sure.
Yo, for real. Like Phil John, real quick. Phil Simms, like, in the article, he said, like, these NFL players today are kind of like, I don't want to like say, I'll just say it how I interpret it. They're pussies. Like, they're straight up pussies. You know what I mean? Like, these guys don't want to do anything. They just want to get that fucking paycheck and run. Back in the day, like, John, I'll give you a DVD one time, man. There's a giant versus the Bears game back in like the 1980s that I have on DVD. These guys hit you, man. It was a totally different game. Like, you were out there taking people's heads off. Like, I would never ever step foot on that fucking field, man, watching these fucking games. It was fucking dangerous, man. Like, you couldn't believe it. Like, you would watch this game, you'd hand get tired, because if you were a referee, you were throwing that flag every 2 seconds. It was a fucking different game, man. Yo, Phil was absolutely 100% right, man. God bless him.
It's true though, man. Like I said, and I think that with a lot of this conditioning, you're going to see a difference in the 4th quarter, man. That's where this shit is really going to pay off. And especially with some of the rotation players that we have on both offense and defense this season, you're going to see a big fucking thing where guys are going to look a lot fresher in that 4th quarter. And that's going to be all the fucking world of a difference. Because sometimes it's those couple of plays. They'll say, 3, 4, maybe 5 plays a game that literally decide any kind of close matchups. And literally, if you're in better shape, those plays seem to come out a little bit better. They get a little executed a little bit like more proficiently. And that's what I think the difference is going to be. So you're right. So Phil Simms, we're all right on this shit. Fuck all these idiots that think, oh my God, what is it, a track team? Oh my God, what are you doing? It's core conditioning. That's what you're supposed to fucking do as a professional athlete, is condition for your sport. So anybody that's knocking that shit is either just not caught up to date as to what really needs to be necessary, or is just fucking looking to get fucking, like John was saying, the attention by being the first to say this and the first to say that type of nonsense.
Jules, I think I know who wrote the article. It was two guys. It was Eric Flowers and Bobby Hart. Those are the two guys.
Bobby Hart stuck up for the Giants.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Hart he told Jeff Schwartz he's a bitch right in front of the world. Told him you quit on the team. Publicly said it to people. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, Geoff just got that fucking paycheck from us, man. I think he come over from Kansas City and shit. Like he was supposed to be our best right guard, and then he came here and did absolutely dick, and all he does is trash the Giants. Like, what did they ever do to you? You didn't do shit for us. Piece of shit.
But I will tell you one thing.
May the Schwartz never be with him. Fucking piece of garbage.
The players were talking about it too, like in their interviews this training camp, this even before in the offseason, about all the cardio work. He's like we were looking. He's like, you're in the fourth quarter. You're looking on the other side of the field. You're looking on the other, on the other bench over there, and you see guys hands on their knees, hands on their thighs, hands on their waist, breathing deep and looking around on your side and seeing guys are visibly in better shape and better condition and better, better stamina. I think Chris Canty said it was like, or somebody said he's like, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Oh, it was David Deal who said it. I'm sure other people have, but I heard him say it recently. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. So when you're trying to play physical game like football, especially you get to the fourth quarter, most of these games are, one score games or at least close to it enough where people are going to be playing hard all the way through. You don't want to be tired and fucking playing like that. That's how injuries happen and that's how you lose games. So being able to have fresh legs like that, it's going to be sick. But
damn right.
Can we please? I've been waiting for this for approximately 48 weeks at this point, 47 weeks. Talking about fresh legs, guys. I know some big ones.
Oh, yeah.
That maybe came back.
My man is back. Off the pup list officially. Saquon Barkley is back. And my man can't wait to get in the game. That's right. Real quick round of applause for my man.
Thank God. Love him, man. Thank God he's back. Our best number 2 draft pick since Lawrence Taylor.
Look, not only that, I mean, look, there was a lot of talk going around about how he may not even play to week 3. Might not even play. Look, we talked about it on this show plenty of times where we definitely don't think he's going to have a full workload in the first couple of weeks of the season, which,
definitely not.
There's nothing wrong with that. They got an extra game. You got a guy coming back from injury. There's no reason to overload this guy in the beginning of the season. But to hear that he's off the pup list, he's practicing, he's looking as good as he did, he's out there on the field making plays already, doing cuts and running with the football, and that's fucking fantastic. And I think this guy will be ready to go week 1. Whether or not he gets 20 carries or, even 20 touches, probably not. But, a 10 to 14 touch fucking Saquon Barkley, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Tremendous fucking addition to whatever fucking offense you have out there. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Yeah,
just having him on the field, bro. Just his number 26 being behind or on the side of Daniel Jones or wherever they have him lined up is going to instantaneously and without question change the defense's play, call, scheme, and attention during that play. Just having that jersey on the field. So, he maybe doesn't need to touch the ball 25 times. Maybe he gets, like you said, 10 to 15, 12 to 15 carries or touches or whatever ends up being. Like I said, there's a chance with who they have to go with quarterback week 1 with the secondary as bananas as this fucking secondary looks so far in training camp. And I know we'll get into that in a second. They could realistically be up like 21-0, 24-0, 27-3, something like that in the first half, where Saquon can really just fucking sit down, go get a massage, go get his dick sucked, whatever he needs.
You would hope, John. But us Giant fans, we're not used to that being up 24-0. It's never that easy for us. We're usually there fucking with our hands on our chests.
It's a new day.
Just like, please, we need this,
It's a new day.
But listen, new
day.
Barkley, man, like got that guy, that fucking kid, man, he put in a lot of work to get back, man. Like every video you see him, like on Instagram, all that social media shit, man. He put the time and effort into him, man. He kind of just knew like he would come back because you guys know me on this podcast. I love that dude's legs. Let me just fucking come out and say it. Those things are fucking trunks, man. Like, how do you have legs like that? It probably just absorbed the knee. Like, I don't even think he needs a knee in that kind of shit. Like, he's just gonna be running and jumping and hopping and scoring touchdowns all year, man. Like, hopefully he has like a full 17 game season. He's healthy and the Giants are winning and everybody can shut the fuck up about him.
I mean, not only that, I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but it is this much of a jump where Daniel Jones's QB rating without Saquon Barkley is like 70. You got it. And I know it jumps to over 90, like 91 or something like that when he is on the field. And that's counting Daniel Jones's rookie season. That's counting like only a little portion of year two, of last year rather. And then literally like now you're also not taking into account the additions of Kyle Rudolph, Tony, John Ross, healthy fucking Shepard, all this other shit that's going to go into the play. But John, give me some numbers, please.
All right. Because I saw this. Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman were debating about Daniel Jones and this and that. So it breaks down his entire career, all 29 games that he started. In the games without Saquon Barkley, which there was 15 of them.
Jesus.
Average, yeah. Out of 29 games, 15 of them, Saquon's not been on the field.
That's crazy.
He averages 199 passing yards per game, has a 12 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. So basically a 1-to-1 ratio through 15 games, literally 1-1 each game through the 15 games, or just shy of 0.8, 0.7, 0.85, whatever. Now, in the 11 games without Saquon Barkley.
With
Saquon Barkley, excuse me. Sorry. 269 yards per game. So a full 70 yards more per game, or just about 35% more. 35% more. Go ask your boss if he would like 35% more profit. Now, let's look at the touchdown to interception ratio. In 11 games, 23 touchdowns passing with only 9 interceptions.
That's crazy.
So 2.5 to 1.
And that's just with the addition of Barkley.
So you're just sitting on the field. Now consider this. In the Steelers game last year, and in I think 1 or 2 games in 2019 when he came back a little too early from his ankle sprain, I think he had 2 or 3 games where he had rushing yards of single digits, Saquon Barkley. So basically, they sold out just to stop him. And he wasn't able to contribute in any way, shape, or form other than being a focal point. Again, that's what we said about filling out the jersey of being on the field. Defense was sold out to stop him. And Daniel Jones, mostly in his rookie year, obviously, because he only played one game with him his second year, 23 touchdowns in 11 games. And that's not including a couple more. Yeah.
23 and 9, right? So if you project that over like
because he had 2 rushing touchdowns too.
Oh, okay.
Those are 6 points too, just saying. So 25, 2.5 to 1.
So if you project that for a full season, that's like 50 touchdowns and 18 picks. I'll take that. I'll fucking take that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 11 divided by 25.
He's gonna light up the league.
11 divided by 25.
I mean, he's definitely over 30.
Imagine Jones comes out like Superman and just lights up the league, and everybody's just like, the jaw's just gonna drop, y'all. It'll be some shit if he does that.
39 touchdown season.
Yo,
he matches just his rookie numbers. That was with throwing the ball to fucking Golden Tate.
This is what's gonna drive John crazy because like Daniel Jones, he'll come out like Superman next year, right? He'll have like fucking 45 touchdowns, like 10 picks, right? For the year, he'll look like Aaron Rodgers, and then all the trolls will start complaining. Oh, now we gotta fucking pay him like Allen and $280 million. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, that's gonna happen.
If Buffalo
same thing happened with
Josh Allen like they did, basically giving him a better guaranteed contract than Pat Mahomes. Right. There's ways to structure shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yeah.
They've gotten so creative with contracts and everything else where if Daniel Jones does come out and has like a sort of Josh Allen 2.0 type season, which, people are trying to build up, I don't know if he's going to be that great, but he could still come close. Look, man, he could realistically throw for like 35, 4,000, have like 25 to 30 touchdowns passing. Obviously, he'll run in 1 or 2 or 5, who knows, and gets those turnovers and fumbles down. You know what? We're talking about a completely different player who turned it around. I mean, look, if he's that much more proficient with just Barkley on the field, could you imagine with the addition of Tony, having Shepard healthy, Kenny Galladay healthy, Kyle Rudolph in addition to Evan Ingram? Like, dude, like there should be no excuse for this guy. And like, he should be doing more than 70 yards a game. It should be more like 110, 120 yards more a game, realistically.
Right.
And this defense might be one of the top 3, maybe the single best defense in the league.
I mean, look.
People are still saying they hate Dave Gettleman today.
Listen,
today saying they hate Dave Gettleman still.
After about week 4, 5, 6, all those motherfuckers will start jumping off the bridge because they'll can't take it being 6-0. They'll just fucking lose their minds.
Well, like I said, what I pointed out last week, having a. I'm saying, to have an open up against Denver, who's going to be rated as having one of the top 10 defenses in the league, supposedly, right?
Underrated orange.
The overrated orange. They might have arguably the top 3 in secondary. All this bullshit, right? We got to play them. Then we got to go to fucking Washington, and then we might. I think Atlanta's the 3rd game of the year or something like that, right?
Think so.
Like if the Giants come out and make noise and they're 3-0, like I mentioned, or 2-1 even after those 3 games, you're gonna hear a lot of fucking people saying, "Oh, well, the offensive line came together and Daniel Jones has stepped up and look at what this team has done and blah 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 blah." And obviously, the same could be said that if they started off 0-3 by some fucking weird fucking craziness, right? Then they'll be like, "Oh, you see, this is why we didn't have that team up there. This is why they're not the best team in the NFC East. This is why their defense isn't ranked in the top 10." So the media has set themselves up where no matter what occurs, they're going to be able to sort of backtrack on it and be like, "Oh, yeah, you see, we said that this could come.
Scumbags.
We said that this could happen." So, like, they literally have set it up. And that's the reason why Gettleman's getting some flack still, right? Because if the floor does fall out, then it's going to be Gettleman. They're going to blame everything on. We know that, right? You have to accept that as Giants fans, that if the fucking ceiling and the floor falls out, that Gettleman's going to be the one to blame. He's going to be the one that gets fired, and then that's what's going to happen there, right? And of course, the reverse is true. We go 3-0. We started off. We're in first place in the NFC East. Forget it. That noise is going to be fucking going crazy. We're going to be through the roof, and all of a sudden, people are going to be pointing us as Super Bowl contenders, right? So like, it's literally a matter of the first season that's really going to determine on how this fucking media and everything else sways.
It's funny how like we gotta fucking see the media sway or some shit. Like you're right, absolutely, with their backtracking bullshit and they try to push narratives at us, and like a lot of fans like they fall for it. It's like it all goes back to like Jones getting drafted number 6 when that little Golick Jr. and Mika Kimes were laughing at Gettleman drafting him at number 6. Like it was so embarrassing. Like it was such a huge clown show. They just continue to fucking do this. It's always like New York. It seems like they always got some kind of issue. They got to make a story up here. Like it's a fucking big deadline story they have to make about the fucking Giants. Cause you see it on the back page of the newspaper, see the, Giants fucking whatever, or the Jets being a clown show. It's always some dumb shit like that. So people got to stop listening to these fucking assholes. Just because they're there, they're writing stories, doesn't give them like the ultimate credit. Just watch the games, make judgments for yourselves.
I don't even believe that it's the Giants and the Jets. It's really just the Giants. Even to today, 3 years in the league, already traded off of a team, done nothing at all that would resemble high quality football in 3 seasons. Sam Darnold is still given a bigger vote of confidence than Daniel Jones.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The Jets, they get their own share of things, but the venom is to the Giants. Like they get like the little brother fucking noogies. Like they try to clown it's like a there's like a vent, like it's just that's the word for it. It's just like a venom there.
A vendetta. Like they had something like a vendetta, like they did something bad to them or something.
Right, exactly. It's like they had a lot of money on the Patriots winning against the Giants in 2007,
right.
2008 Super Bowl.
Right.
And they lost a lot of money, and they just haven't given the NYG fucking any kind of, an inch since. So it's fine because they've spent the better part of the last now 3.5 years really, really going in on Dave Gettleman. And to do that right now, when you look at this, what's going to be 53-man roster in a couple of weeks, and you look really position by position by position, and the actual guys that they're going to be running on the field, those 48 guys that are going to get a jersey on Sundays, when you look at it, it is one of the better, more balanced rosters in the entire NFC, maybe even the NFL as a whole. When you look at it, right? Oh, Daniel Jones needs to prove this. Go fuck yourself. This kid already showed that he's got excellent, excellent talent. The only thing that has to happen now is to put him in a position to harness this talent. It's not like we have a fairy tale like with Sam Darnold that, there's this pinnacle that he's going to reach one day. We've seen Daniel Jones multiple times go out and have epic 4 and 5 touchdown games. That happened. Real life happens.
Right.
Real life happened 4 times in 12 games. So we've seen what this kid could actually fucking do. We saw against the Redskins in 2019, both him and Saquon abused the Redskins that day like no one ever has. It was one of their worst games in the entire history of that organization. 5 touchdowns from Daniel Jones. Saquon had like 300 something, 280, 290 yards, like full thorough abuse. Like you've seen this happen with these draft picks. You've seen all it is a matter of harnessing it. And that's what is going to happen in fucking a few weeks, man. You're going to fucking see the whole thing just snap into fucking focus like that Rubik's Cube we were talking about a few years ago.
You know what else I think it is too? And obviously, I've been stating on this program for a couple of weeks now that I said that I think the media wants to sway. But in addition to that, I don't give a fuck what fan you are when it comes to all the New York teams, right? We have two teams in every major sport in every league, in every one of the leagues, right? But when you look at it, there's certain expectations that are put on individual teams in those sports, right? Listen, the Yankees, their expectations are different from the Mets. I don't give a shit what you say. Right. That's what the media will do. That's just how it is, right? When you go to hockey, the expectations of the Rangers are much higher than they are the fucking Islanders. Meanwhile, the Islanders have more Stanley Cup wins, right? And yet the expectations are still higher on the Rangers. I don't give a shit. We go to basketball. The Knicks and the Nets. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, maybe the Nets had this Cinderella type year where, they were supposed to go to the finals and they didn't. But the expectations are always higher with the fucking Knicks. You could just see that shit on Friday night at the Garden, right? Like, no matter how much they suck, the expectations are always higher. And I still think the same is true with the Giants and the Jets. You have the Giants that won 4 Super Bowl, the Jets won 1, which I think that fucking Joe Namath made the deal with the devil to get that fucking 1 win to the Jets. And that shit ain't gonna fucking ever change, bro. They gotta fucking break that curse, right? And listen, the expectations are higher. They haven't won since the 69 fucking season, Super Bowl fucking 3, dude. You know what I'm saying? Where the Giants have won in the modern era. They've won every decade since the 80s. The only team in football to do it, right? They won in the 2000s, they won in the 2010s, they won in the 80s, they won in the 90s, right? So it's the only fucking team, and people forget about that. So expectations grew for us. So when we've had a letdown like we've had the last few seasons, expectations are fucking at an all-time high. Yes, we got a team. Gettleman went out and spent money. We need this fucking quarterback to develop in his 3rd season. We need Barkley to be healthy. We need this offensive line to gel. We need the defense to be better than it was last year. And all these things can come true. But that's the reality behind it. And because he's set higher, you're going to get a lot more haters in there. And that's what I think a lot of this shit is too.
All right. What you just said, we need this, we need that, we need this person to step up. That what team doesn't need their players to step up? Tell me what sport, what team ever in history who just doesn't need their players to step up? That's the whole fucking point.
It's dramatic here. That's what it is. They make it drama. They make it big-time drama.
What does that say about Giants fans, though?
They're babies.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Expectations are too high.
Giants are the worst fan base in fucking American sports.
The expectations and, like, the impatiency, like, it's just, like, it's out of control.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of the –
fucking goes on over here.
Speaking of expectations.
Speaking of that, speaking of the Jets and Giants, like, we got a game this weekend, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think we should take a quick commercial break. Oh, by the way, if you go to a Giant Jet game, if you decide to pee on a Jet jersey, the yellow pee and the green jersey makes it blue. Just so you know. But anyway, we'll be right back with the BBO NYG podcast. We'll be talking Giants and Jet preseason football. Be right back. All right, we are back with the BBO NYG podcast. Jets and Giants this weekend, fellas. Who you got winning the game?
Real quick before we get into that, I did want to make a couple of quick notes regarding camp, just to kind of tie together a few of the last minute things on both offense and defense. Couple of standout guys as far as from the defensive perspective, guys in that secondary, man, just stepping up. And that's Darnay Holmes, who's having a great fucking camp so far. And he's doing everything he can to win that slot corner. And that's something that needs to be noticed. This guy's making diving interceptions. He's deflecting passes. He's playing all over the fucking field. And he's really stepping up. And here's a guy that's coming out of nowhere that almost looked like he had his slot job taken from him. And he's been playing his ass off. Of course, another guy that's getting a lot of notoriety is Xavier McKinney, one of my favorites. I'm telling you right now, I love this kid. I think he's going to be a ball hawk this season. I can't wait to see him with a full season under his belt.
Hell yeah.
And he's been killing it too. And then Julian, just call him a D-back love, because my man said he ain't playing safety. He's not playing corner. He's playing everywhere. Deflected passes, intercepted the ball. So Julian D-back love also step it up. So that's just a couple of notes on the defense, guys. Any comments regarding the secondary in regards to those players or anyone else that's been standing out so far?
What I've heard is just from listening to, the beat writers and, the in-house shows of the spring training camp show, the training camp shows that the Giants put out. All those guys, everybody's been saying how Adoree Jackson just looks bananas out there right now. He's one of the camp standouts as a cornerback. And that's not saying he's playing better than James Bradberry or anything like that. James Bradberry is not playing well. That's not even close to the case. But just from the safety room to the cornerback room, they're saying everybody's saying you haven't heard one even remotely negative thing. And Daniel Jones has played well this training camp. He's had a couple of bad games. Obviously, you're going to when you're going up against that fucking secondary. But
yeah,
dude, I mean, if Adoree Jackson goes back to where he is, his draft pedigree, who he's supposed to be, who he's played as, with James Bradberry playing where's next week, you have two number one corners, man. Because let's say James, Adoree's, maybe the 15th to the 20th best cornerback in the league. Well, if he's going up against wide receiver twos every single week, that elevates him to a 99 fucking overall, if you want to use a Madden term. Like that talent difference, that's going to allow this defense to do so many different things with those three safeties, those two fucking just, I don't even know what to call them, bro. I don't even know what to fucking call them. Wraiths out on the fucking outside, just being able to lock down the two receivers.
Lock down.
Just Darnay Holmes, dude's playing excellent, like you said.
Dude, that's why, like, Daniel Jones, like, going against these guys, it's just gonna make him fucking, like, learn on fast, be able to go against these guys. I mean, going back to the secondary too, like, for the people that worry about, like, us generating a pass rush, we could generate a pass rush when we have lockdown corners and secondary pieces where guys can't get open. So they could get there. Like, don't need to worry about that shit. And they do want, and they do want Love on the field. Like, they want him on the field. And you guys remember, like, the last, like, 6 games, how Love was just making plays all the time. I'm like, yo, he made another fucking play. Like, that dude's good. He can play. Notre Dame kid.
4th most snaps on the defense last year is Julian Love. Logan Ryan praised him all offseason, saying we couldn't play the football we wanted to play, the style we wanted to play, if it wasn't for Julian Love playing that deep safety, playing the way he did and where he did. He was one of the keys to that defense. I'm not saying he was the best player on the defense. Obviously, that's not the case, but he was very, very good and so good at so many different things that it really unlocked the defense to a whole other level, according to Logan Ryan. And I'm not going to take a fan's word saying, "Oh, I'll listen to Logan Ryan what he's saying there." But could you just imagine this weekend, man?
Well,
I don't know if anybody would ever argue that the Jets secondary.
I was going to talk real quick about overrated arms, because it was kind of second year. Put into perspective real quick about Adoree Jackson real fast. think of it this way. If you look at Cortland Sutherland and Jerry Jeudy as being number 1 and 2 on that Denver team, most likely, right? As
Yeah.
So that means Bradbury's got to cover one of those two. Say he goes on Sutton because he's just got a little bit more experience than Jeudy, even though Judy's a little bit better of a route runner. That means Adoree Jackson's covering fucking either Jeudy or Sutton. Like, that's the type of matchups. If you go into this week 2 when we play Washington, right, and you're going to tell me that Bradbury is going to be on Terry McLaurin, which is most likely going to be the matchup for the most part, that means he covers Curtis Samuel. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, yo, this shit's ridiculous. Like, it's almost a joke. You know what I'm saying? When we go to play Atlanta, if you put Bradbury on Calvin Ridley, and then you're gonna have Adoree Jackson on fucking Russell Gage, like, give me a fucking break, dude. Like, that guy is gonna be lost.
Right.
Second. I mean, that's the type of shit that you're talking about when you talk about these 1-2 punches at receiver. Yes, it's gonna be more geared towards Dallas. Where Dallas is where we're going to have a little bit more of a stretch because you got Cooper and you have CeeDee Lamb and, a little bit better than 1-2 punch. But we got the guys that can go with that. That means CeeDee Lamb is going to be covered by Bradbury and then Cooper goes on Jackson or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And, like, that's the kind of shit you got to put into perspective when John was talking about Adoree Jackson being this kind of guy. Like, dude, he's going to lock down that number 2 receiver. It's insane.
Well, for the people that wanted Peppers for an extension, like, yeah, keep waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be here this year. They're not trading him. Don't put words in my mouth, but he ain't gonna be around long term. I don't think.
You can put words in my mouth because I said that shit last week. We get a good solid offer for him. I'm just saying.
But what do we need though? What do we need?
We get Quentin Nelson right now. That's gonna be out. I have to do it.
So crazy.
When it comes to contracts, I just need everybody to remember the salary cap is going to be going up at leaps and bounds in the next year, 1, 2, and 3 off seasons. It's supposed to go up to like 245, 250. That would be a 25% increase of where it is right now. That's a lot, dude.
But I'm not really talking about the cap, John. I'm talking about more of like playing time. He's going to want to play. I don't think he has a spot to really play here. If you look at who we're talking about. Logan Ryan's still here. Like, Love, McKinney. Like, McKinney's the guy. Like, he's special. Like, people I don't think a lot of Giants fans realize how good this kid is. Like, he's a game changer back there. You better watch out, man. This defense. I don't know how teams are gonna fucking be able to score on these guys. I'm serious.
He was supposed to be. Don't forget, McKinney was supposed to be drafted in the first round last year.
First rounder, right?
Him and Winfield, they were supposed to be first round safeties, and they both fell early second round. Listen, man, I tell you, like that means something. Same thing with Ojulari, another guy. I was just about to say, listen, you could have made an argument if we took Ojulari 20th overall. All right, and like you could have made an argument for that. And the fact that we got him where we did, give me a fucking break.
People had us drafting him in the 11th overall, or whatever fucking draft pick that we had.
Right.
So like, there's a lot of fucking things to be said there. And one thing real quick too, I wanted to just last thing to talk about camp before we get into the Jets Giants is the offense, right? And I didn't mention Tony, who, by the way, once he came back to camp, has been tearing it up. Coach Judge has had nothing but good things to say about him. They're also saying that Sterling Shepard looks like he may be in the best condition he's been in his career. The way that this guy's tearing shit up. John Ross has been stepping up. This dude's like, fuck this, you ain't cutting me. I'm going to be more than just a special teams contributor. I'm going for that 4th, 5th fucking wide receiver spot. He's been stepping up. And also another guy, Mike, he's your favorite, I think, for this year so far is Evan Ingram, because he knows he got old man Rudolph fucking looking down his shoulders. He's in a contract season. And my man's been stepping up to him preseason. So shout out to those guys. I don't know if you got anything more detail to talk about here with those players.
Double E, man. Double E, like he's been on fire. Like Kyle Rudolph, like he's been hurt. It kind of sucks for him because he's going to be left behind a little bit. So you're going to see Evan Ingram probably play a full load the first few games at least before Kyle like even gets in the mix, And then if Evan Ingram really takes the ball, like and in his hands, literally, like he might be a top tight end number 1.
I mean, he has the talent to be one of the probably top 5, top 7 best tight ends in the league, at least from a playmaking perspective. Mm-hmm. He's never going to be top even 20 probably as far as blocking is concerned. And the reality is with with what he can be in this offense, if he could just, like we always say, fucking get with some sports psychologist and kind of convince himself to play at his peak, Fucking dude's sick, bro. He's as fast as like anybody else on the team.
That's
in a
wide
straight
receiver.
line. Remember that one play, the Tampa Bay game, Jones's first game, that's
Sideline.
75 yards, right? Just dig route, boom, hit him right in the fucking teeth, and dude just disappeared on the fucking defense. And that's our fucking fifth offensive option.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bro,
That's fucking
maybe not
nuts.
even. Maybe not even. You're gonna have Saquon number 1, Galladay number 2, a mixture of Shepard and Slayton as 3 and 4, and then he's gonna be 5.
I mean, Ross, like, I mean,
Yeah,
God.
now you're going definitely to the second.
Yeah, like we're going
Still.
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and people still hate Gettleman. I just don't understand it. But
It's a lot.
I can't wait to sit down Saturday, man. 7:30
Me
kickoff.
too.
Just fucking sit down. I don't really drink. I may crack open a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw a fucking few dollars down on the game too. Who knows?
That's right. So like the
No, I just want to see, like, they're gonna play the starters probably 1 or 2 defensive drives, I would say, and then start filtering in, the second and third team players the rest of the way.
little fact about
What?
this weekend though. Besides all these players, you mentioned in numbers of guys coming on the field. Like August 15th is my birthday. So
Oh shit.
So all I want is for like a big win here. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want.
wanna
And
see
John,
the
I might
second-
have
I
to
wanna-
throw some money to you so you can fucking put some money on the game. I might bet my fucking birthday money on that.
I
There you
think it's what, +1 or -1 or some shit like that, right? Like it's a tight spread if I'm not mistaken.
So
I mean,
It is tight. But I think, John, I think
football's a little crazy, but
yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of guys like we really know playing this game. Like I think they said they're treating it like the 4th preseason game usually. So you're gonna
Oh,
see
yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. A driver 2 the most is all you're gonna see.
Right.
then.
I don't even think we might get any fucking starters this week.
But-
I don't know.
If I
listen,
was
how do
Rob,
you determine that shit too, though, right? Because technically the Giants are +1, right? We're getting a point in this preseason matchup.
Oh fucking
Like,
no.
are their backups better? Is that like what we're going on? Like, I don't even know who the fucking backup quarterback is for the Jets. Any idea?
John, it's
it might just
Jules, it's the disrespect. It's the disrespect that the Giants get. That's why we're getting a point.
It's like, what the
It's because of the
fuck?
media.
probably maybe it just goes into that conspiracy about Vegas I've been saying all summer.
Dude.
That's true.
I mean,
So-
'cause like, yo, like I'm assuming Zach Wilson's gonna play the first quarter, maybe 2 quarters.
Oh, this is what I'm trying to fucking get to, Jules. Like 10 minutes.
Oh,
Jesus
there we go.
fucking
All right,
Christ.
let's get to it.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking around.
All right.
I
I
was like, my man loves Zach Wilson.
You know, but like think about it. Like, granted, like I don't like see like where they're even showing this matchup. Like, I guess the Jets got a better defensive line, maybe. I don't even fucking know. I'm reaching,
know,
guys.
man.
I'm fucking reaching here because you want to go quarterback. We have experience, right? You don't know what you're gonna get out of this rookie. You want to go wide receivers. Granted,
got
maybe Galladay
cheerleaders?
doesn't play, but like Corey Davis ain't scaring nobody. I know they got Elijah Moore, but I'd love to see Kadarius Toney get up in there, and then like. You know, all the other receivers are like better. Like I don't get it. Our
think-
secondary's better. Like
Do they
I
get-
don't know what the fuck they're going.
Do they got cheerleaders, Shul? Is that what it is?
They
The
do.
Jets got cheerleaders, so that's probably the
Oh,
point.
wow. We are the home. I was thinking maybe that we were in the home team.
No, that's
Whatever.
you figured it out. It's the cheerleaders, man. Like I remember going to it. I remember going to the Jets Browns game a couple years ago to see Odell make his return. I remember seeing all the fucking cheerleaders there. I'm like, they fucking got cheerleaders and we don't. That's one thing. That's one thing we need. We need to make happen.
Oh
We
my
need some
God.
giant cheerleaders.
Wait a second. Do you remember a couple weeks ago? We didn't talk about this last week. The fucking Washington, they had that fucking dance crew, bro. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Apparently, it's some like I think like go music or something like that, like go dancing. I don't not like stripping, like not like that. It's just like. Remember, like in 2004, 2005, they were making all those like Chris Brown dance movies. It was basically like a terrible, like peasant version of that.
I
The
thought
whole
Jessica
video-
Alba was gonna come out and start dancing and shit. Like
Dude,
it was
the whole
fucking. I felt
video-
embarrassed.
I couldn't figure out if it was like official team content or it's just some fools dressed up in some fucking Redskins garb. I couldn't figure it out. And then like the camera pans
Awful.
and you see like the actual Redskins fucking setup or Washington football team, whatever the
Washington.
fucking stupid name of this. So you see it. I'm like, bro, this is like real life. So I commented on it, And like all these fucking Washington fans were going bananas, saying, "Oh, this is just DC culture. This is that." It's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's like that movie
So
Bring It.
low grade.
Yeah, bring it with Jessica Alba and fucking Chris Tucker or some shit. I don't fucking know.
And that cheerleader
Bring It
movie
On.
from like the early 2000s or some shit. You know what I mean?
Fucking ridiculous. Who the fuck's watching those kind of movies?
Yeah,
And listen, I don't know about you guys, but I actually watched the Hall of Fame game because I'm just like a fiend when it comes to fucking football. So yes,
do
I did
too.
watch the first half of that Steelers Cowboys game, and you know, like you don't even see. What's killed me was because like it's like who the fuck is CeeDee Lamb? Where he's only in his second season, he's like, yeah, I'm not playing in a preseason game. I don't need to play that one. It's like, bro, get your fucking rookie ass out there, run some fucking routes. Dude, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying?
Stop being a bitch.
But like that's already the mentality with Dallas. They get into a fight with the Rams during practice and shit, and like that's going on. They're gonna be on fucking Hard Knocks, and Hard Knocks is getting premiered. Yo, let Dallas
tonight.
be that quote unquote bullshit America's team and take up all the fucking nonsense bullshit. Because guess what? These idiots went and put the fucking spotlight back on them. So they got a fucking tough opening match. They got to open against Tampa in Tampa. Like, yo, they might start the season 0-1. It's like, bro, give me a fucking break with this fucking nonsense. But the point is that, you know, preseason's here, and you bet your ass I'm going to be watching that game on Saturday, at least for the first half. But I might even indulge myself and watch some of that second half, you know, get to watch a little Mike Glennon, whoever else might get out there, see some of these guys like Stills, who's having a good fucking preseason.
I watched the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I'm
you're
like,
going
what
to
is this
see
kid
some
talking about?
players that are really going to be stepping up.
Like
It
I
is
have to watch the whole fucking game, Jules. I
Yeah.
can't turn it off after the first half. That's insane to me. Like what you just said makes me crazy. Like
Yeah,
Just
like,
was
I don't
calling
get it.
out there,
You
you know?
I'm trying to figure out like what else is happening. Is like you know
I was like, is the president coming to your house?
yeah, you got a call girl showing up. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was all that talk about these dances and everything. I don't know.
So speaking of Saturday, I don't know if you guys pay any attention to like what goes on across town and like the reports coming out of Jets camp of like what the team looks like, this and that.
Sometimes, yeah, I hear it.
All right. So according to everybody on that side of town, Zach Wilson has had an awful camp. Very, very, very bad. And he's going up against the Jets secondary, which is basically an
They're
atrocity.
horrible.
So think about the next starting Saturday. Think about the next like few weeks of being a Giants fan, what should shape up to be the case. You have probably Zach Wilson out there for 2 drives, probably going to throw 2 interceptions those 2 drives, and then fucking that side of town's going to go crazy. Then the following few days, or after a couple days, the Giants are going to be going to play Cleveland. They're going to have the scrimmage games, the practices between the 2 teams. And then they have the against Cleveland. So you're going to be able to see our secondary up against Odell, Jarvis, and Baker Mayfield. So hopefully they just humiliate that fucking clown show there, those 3 guys. And Daniel Jones looks great. Then after that, they're going to be going up against the Patriots, and you know whatever's going to go on over there should be interesting. And then we're in the Giant season, real games.
You know what's crazy though? Like one thing you got to keep in mind is reality says this, and I don't give a shit. You could look up any draft in the fucking past. There is no fucking way that all 5 first-round quarterbacks are gonna fucking be successful in the NFL. It's just a fact. It's unfortunate, but it's fucking true. You look at any draft of any fucking year, and there's a drop-off. These guys don't all have great NFL careers. They don't all go. They don't all fucking win playoff games. And you're going to sit there and tell me that you had 3 taken with the first 3 picks and everybody's talking them up, right? They're like, oh, Trey Lance looks phenomenal. He's going to
told you.
Money.
I told you, Trey Lance. I said it here. He was the best guy. I like him better than Lawrence.
And then the fact that the Giants are going to regret not drafting Justin Fields and trading out. And then you have Mac Jones and you have this. They can't all be successful. It doesn't work mathematically, statistically, historically. 5 quarterbacks taken in the first fucking round do not all work. And that's just got to be a fucking reality. So who's going to fall off? Is it going to be Zach Wilson? It could be. I'm sorry, Jet fans. I hope for their sake it's not. But, yo, it might be. Same thing goes for fucking Trey Lance. Same thing goes for Mac Jones. Same thing goes for Justin Fields. There's no way in hell that all 5 quarterbacks are going to be fucking Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, going to the playoffs and winning multiple playoff games. It don't work like that. Go through the fucking history of shit and go through different fucking draft classes. If you got 3, 4 out of a draft class, that's a lot. And I think 3 is already kind of the max. I don't even know if it's 4. I'm going back to that like 84 draft that's been talked about forever, where you had like Marino and Bernie Kosar and all these, and Elway and all these other fucking guys. You got to go back to that shit. Like literally 1984.
That's a long time ago.
We're talking here. Like, you know, like literally that's the last time you go back to where you've seen this many quarterbacks drafted, where all of them were successful in the NFL.
The best thing about Zach Wilson is his crazy mother. Like, if you ever follow her on social media, she's fucking hot and she says some crazy shit. It's the best. It's the best combination you can find in a woman is Zach Wilson's mother. So go follow her and like all her pictures like I did at like 3 a.m. one day.
You're probably not the only one that's done that. I'm excited, bro.
Right now, right, and that's another huge distraction for this Zach Wilson kid. If he's already getting notoriety for having a bad camp so far, right?
Oh, yeah.
In comparison to all these other guys I just mentioned, right? And Justin Fields and Trey Lance and Mac Jones and blah 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 blah. And then he's got his mom running around on social media. He's got the pressure of New York. He's taking place over Sam Darnold now. Like, here's the keys, here's the reins, new regime. This is their guy. Yo, man, there's a lot of pressure on this kid. And guess what? What does he get to do? He gets to open up against the fucking Giants and their crazy ass fucking defense and secondary. Good luck, pal, because you won't need it.
Honestly, if I'm Rob Saleh or whatever his stupid name is, I may hold him and have somebody else start the game against the secondary and then have Zach Wilson go against the Giants second team once they take the starters off the field. Because what are you going to do? You're going to see his first NFL action and he's going to get just eviscerated. And then he's going to have to be the talk for the next week in New York about how terrible he looks against the Giants.
He'll throw 3 screen passes and then he'll be out.
That's probably what it'll be, bro.
That'll be his drive.
I mean, guys, it's fucking really bad,
You want
bro.
the kid to play. You want to.
Any guesses on who the backup quarterback is for the Jets? Quick guesses. No Googling, no checking.
Like Joe Morgan or something like that.
Geno Smith.
James Morgan or Joe Morgan, something like that.
James Morgan is there. I don't know if he's actually number 2. Currently, they have Mike White listed as number 2 and James Morgan and Josh Johnson. I mean, like, he goes from bad to worse.
Who was the second guy you said?
Mike White.
Is that my fault? I thought that was like my nickname. Shit.
Mike White and James Morgan. Those 2 guys are fighting for the backup role currently. Like, it's that bad.
People used to call me that name at the beach.
Then it was Mike Red by the afternoon.
Yeah, Mike Bird.
Mike Red.
Listen,
I
want
to. I mean, like, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna throw fucking Mike White out there against the Giants? Like,
I guess not, man. I just can't wait to watch. I can't wait to see these guys. Like, whoever might surprise us, make a name for themselves on Saturday. I go, who's that rookie that just made that play? What's his name? Start doing some research. I'll have my notepad out. I'll start taking notes, even though I'll have probably 18 beers that night because it's the first game. I know it's preseason, but you got to get loaded for that shit. I'm telling you.
Saturday night.
It's like birthday weekend. That's what I'm doing, man. I'm sitting my fucking ass right in the seat, man, just watching that fucking game. That's all I'm doing Saturday, man. I love my Giants, man. That's it.
I can't fucking wait, man. I fucking can't wait.
I might get a big blue cake.
There's so many months in between fucking games, like so many days from the last game of the season. It was like January 3rd or January 5th or whatever it was until all the way till now. It's like 8 months, bro, or 7 months, whatever. It's a fucking long time.
It's a long time. Yeah.
A long fucking time. And Saturday, I mean, it's not official. I get it. It's not, it's
official
for anything.
It's official.
We're back. It's our team that's on the field. And side note, in New Jersey's now, we changed the uniforms up a little bit. You guys see
dude, yeah. Which one is your favorite one?
Color Rush.
Color Rush, right?
Oh, my
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Color Rush
So
is
everybody
bad.
fucking
People
loves
to
that
sort
jersey,
that
bro.
out.
I don't know why the Giants won't let us have nice things when it comes to that.
Yo,
Make
Color
that-
Rush, because it's the old helmets. Like they got to
Yeah.
bring back those old helmets,
White
man.
with the blue and the red piping, bro. It just,
All right.
it's the cleanest looking fucking uniform in the NFL. Maybe it's not the nicest, like cool design, whatever. But as far as like just clean, like the Yankee uniform is just like a classy, clean, just like work of art essential. That fucking Color Rush uniform, bro.
Beautiful.
Is sick. Now I don't mind the changing the pants to white pants on the regular white and red jersey away jerseys. But like, what's the point of doing that if the entirety of the fan base is saying we love these Color Rush jerseys? Just make them the whatchamacallit, the away jerseys.
Yeah.
And then they're having this like
would
Super
love
Bowl throwback uniform one night. I forget which game it is.
Yeah.
I think it's towards the end of the season. But it's basically what away jersey they were wearing last year. It's the same fucking jersey with the gray pants instead.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
It's the same
it's
fucking
like
thing that they were wearing. They called like a custom like just stop doing that. Like you don't have to change the home jersey.
a money
You don't
grab.
want to. The blue with the white looks clean. I'm good with it. But that white and blue fucking Color Rush jersey, man, with the Giant spelled out on the helmet, white face mask, it's just it's so fucking sexy. I love it.
I like it. I, ain't gonna lie. I thought I was alone on that one, so I'm glad to hear that you guys like that shit too, man. I thought that shit was sharp as hell.
Nah, we got to find Joe Judge where he lives and be like, yo, bring back at least the Giants helmets with the full name Giants on it, because that's bad. That's something Joe Judge would do, right? Bring back the old school
That's
shit.
for sure.
Yeah, my
Even
theory
bringing back the
on it
old
is
school
this.
jerseys like the fucking
Yeah.
LT Phil Simms ones,
Oh,
like-
yeah. Joe Morris. Woo. Otis Anderson. Kidding me?
Parker Bloom.
Jim
My
Burton.
theory is this: the Giants wouldn't mind changing the jerseys because, let's face it, the whole point of doing jersey changes, yeah, it's cool. You want to see it, as the ownership and stuff like that, the team to see like new uniforms, but it's a cash grab. It's the whole reason why the Washington football team decided to go football team for a couple of years
Right.
and then finally change the name in like 2022, 2023. That way they can sell all the merchandise with just a W on it because everybody's going to want it. And then now the whole fan base is going to rebuy all the new shit again because they're going to go to the Red Wolves or the Red Cocks, whatever it's going to be.
The Red Cox.
So that's what it is. So the Giants, I'm sure the Mara family, the Tisch family, like, yeah, we wouldn't mind an extra few dollars in our pocket. But I think what they're waiting for is the solid season that shows promise for the future, where they don't look like the Jets, where they change the uniforms, they embarrass themselves, and now that uniform just is associated with clown show. So they probably want to say, you know what, let's have a fucking 10, 12 win season. Let's show that we have a young, solid team that the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years, that window, then we can introduce new jerseys for that new generation of Giants football.
That Jet jersey is associated with losing and also the butt fumble. So it's like they literally took a shit on those jerseys.
Yo,
Well,
that
fucking
green helmet that they wear now,
You got it.
it reminds me of a Christmas ball.
You got a great point there. I mean, remember when we were doing the red jerseys back in the conference?
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
started losing with those
Right,
fucking
I-
jerseys.
against Dallas.
Quick.
Oh, I hated those fucking things. It was always the loss rituals were always against Dallas for some reason. We always had
I
the
know.
red jerseys on, and we always lose to
Got
them.
to be different because they got to play with the white jerseys at home or fucking the blue ones on the road.
I have nightmares that that red jersey with fucking Witten going over the middle. It's just it's in my fucking brain. I can't get it out. It's the fucking worst.
Hey, yo, listen, one other thing, too, for any of you crazy football fanatics like we are, the NFL Network is actually doing a triple header this weekend. So you will be able to watch a 1 o'clock fucking preseason game. I think it's the Dolphins and the Bears, followed by the Broncos and the Vikings at 4. So just in case you can't get it off and you can't, the anticipation is building too fucking much for you, you can fucking watch some other games on fucking Saturday.
That's
just
all.
to get yourself sort of prepped as an appetizer for the 7:30 matchup between the Giants and the Jets.
That's awesome. Don't forget Hard Knocks tonight. If you feel like being sick for about an hour, you can tune into Hard Knocks with Dallas Cowboys. So I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I love that kind of shit anyway. For real though, I know it's Dallas, but that shit's always fucking fun to watch, man.
Is Dak Prescott back at practice, or is he still sidelined?
I heard he was making throws or some shit like that today. There was talk where yesterday he was able to he's working the arm back a little. But as far as any preseason games, And they are not saying he's ready. Look, listen, here's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, yo, this guy's just going to walk back on the field and put up those MVP type numbers that he had in the first 6 weeks of the season out of nowhere. That shit don't happen. If Saquon Barkley's got to work his fucking way back, so does fucking Dak Prescott. He's got to work his fucking way back in. He's got to get the real feel of getting hit with that ankle. He's got to, now he's got his shoulder fucking thing. Like, bro, like, yo, they need to pump the brakes, man. I'm telling you right now, Dallas could fucking really easily start. They're going to probably be 0-1 to start the season. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. Like, there's 100%.
I think the most likely scenario is that the Giants win the first 2 games and the rest of the NFC East gets swept the first 2 games. And before week 3, the Giants will have a 2-game lead in the NFC East on the entire division.
That'd be nice.
It's the most, of all the different outcomes, it's the most likely of scenarios.
I mean, look, you got to
I agree.
This way too. The Chargers, and Chargers play Washington week 1. And then week 2, they play the Cowboys. So the Chargers gonna fucking start off the season 0-2.
Oh man, they play each other.
Right, and then the Cowboys play the Eagles. So like, yo, they got 3 fucking games they need to step the fuck up with too. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And like, if anything, their week 2 is a must fucking win, because if they start the season 0-2, you know you're gonna start hearing the fucking chirping and the quitting and this and that. Oh, Dak's not 100%. This team, the defense, and all this other bullshit. You're gonna start hearing the fucking chirping, and then they got to go in and play the Eagles, who are gonna fucking punch them as hard as they can. Good luck.
Right. Can't fucking wait.
Oh man, it should be fun.
Here, boys, it's fucking here. We're fucking.
It is here.
We're at the cocktail hour right now. We're not sitting down having the fucking full entree yet, but we're at the cocktail hour. We're schmoozing. We're fucking having a couple of drinks, some hors d'oeuvres. This Saturday, 7:30.
Yeah.
And guys, one thing to keep a note of, and just to kind of put the reality in for the listeners and everyone else. Listen, man, we have 4 more shows.
Wow.
Before opening day. 4. That's it.
Crazy.
After tonight, we have 4 more shows, and then it's fucking us against Overrated Orange.
That's crazy.
All right, like all that shit, all that talk, January, February, all the contests, all the shit since the Super Bowl, all the talk, all the guests. We're 4 fucking episodes away from actually being the one before we kick off against fucking Overrated Orange. Crazy, man, crazy. And you know the next fucking 4 weeks or so are gonna fly. That's just how this shit happens. You know, we've been saying it the whole time. Preseason starts this weekend. Then you're going to have fucking guys like me and Mike who do the fantasy drafts. You're going to have all that shit going on over the next few weeks. And before you fucking know, we're going to be talking about how we're going to beat the fucking Overrated Orange on that Sunday afternoon.
Right.
You know?
Can't wait.
Can't wait either. But listen, I guess that wraps it up for this week's episode, fellas. You know, another one in the books. Like I mentioned, 4 weeks away. In the meantime, please catch us on Twitter at BBONYG podcast. That's where you'll find us on Twitter. Big Blue Offensive is where you'll find us on Facebook. All right. Then if you want to hit us up individually, you got Mike MFT on Twitter. You got MYG Slap Parade. You got Jules NYC1. But BBONYG podcast is where we're at. We're on Twitter. We're doing a whole bunch of things. We got more of that contest that we spoke of last week coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll have more details as far as prizes and the contest rules. And like I said, man, 4 weeks will be here before you fucking know it. So next week, we'll definitely be recapping the Jets-Giants, some more training camp talk, and other things that'll go on between now and then. But for now, we're going to wrap it up for this week. We are out. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.